In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at these current conditions. We're going to be also diving into some upcoming severe weather as well as the upcoming pattern and that tropical cyclone. Let's just get straight into things though, and first things first, we're taking a look at our current radar imagery, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of activity happening. First off, for the four corner states up the Rockies, we've had this for a couple of days now, and we still have these showers popping up around. We can see it's mostly greens going on in here, so we know this is not going to be any heavy thunderstorms or anything like that. But there is just these showers around here from Montana and Idaho all the way down through the four corner states. And the ones up there in Montana and Idaho are very spotty and very, very light. So it might not even be making its way down to the ground. It's really hard to tell at this point. Now, just to the east of that region, we do have some thunderstorm activity popping up for the plains here in Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas, all the way up through the Ohio Valley. And there is just some of these thunderstorms popping up around for that region. As we work our way a little bit further south, we can see that there is just showers and thunderstorms all over the place for Texas and all the way around the Gulf Coast and up the southeast coast. There is thunderstorms and showers around in this tropical disturbance, and also just these, more humid and hot areas. It's frequent to see this type of thing. Now, for the upper Midwest and through the Great Lakes into the Northeast, we have some thunderstorm and shower activity going on as well. We do actually expect severe weather here for the Northeast later today. So we'll take a look at the Storm Prediction Center in a little while, and you'll get to see where that's expected. Now let's zoom into some different regions here. First things first, we're taking a look here at Montana. Again, these popped up and they kind of went away, so it's hard to tell if they're coming down or not at this point, but there was some showers popping up potentially on the radar. That's all you need to know. Now for the four corner states in through Nevada a little bit there, we do see some of that showery activity, potentially a little bit heavier here for New Mexico. I would say this corridor especially looks to be heavier. We see some yellows and oranges popping up, which is indicative of that for sure. As we work our way a little bit eastward, we can see where these thunderstorms have been flaring up in here for Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas perhaps, Kansas, even up in through Missouri. Southern Missouri there especially, we've been seeing these thunderstorms, and these look pretty intense, okay? We're seeing darker reds pop up in this. This is a pretty low resolution radar, so it's probably even heavier than it looks would be my estimation. So definitely some heavier thunderstorms popping up in here at this point. And we can see for the Ohio Valley, there was some of these showers popping up in here, but not quite as intense as those areas to the west. But for Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, we've seen some of those showers moving across. Now we're going to move a little bit further south here to these states here, because we are seeing some activity in here. Mostly this tropical activity in here is where we're seeing this, thunderstorm activity, the showery activity. There is a tropical cyclone in there of sorts that's trying to get its act together, but we also see some spotty thunderstorms near San Antonio and Houston as well. And we see some of these also making their way onshore to the Florida Panhandle. So we see a flow somewhat like that. So we are seeing a lot of these are making their way onshore over there. And then for southern Florida here, we can see that there is just these showers and little isolated thunderstorms popping up there for the Miami and in general the southern Florida areas. Now for the southeast, we can see here that there is just this showery activity around here as well, very, very spotty, and it's probably going to get, broken up by this evening, or by this late this morning actually, but matter of fact, we can see here for the northeast, we have these showers popping up already, but we do expect a little bit of severe weather to be possible a little bit later on. I think these showers popping up right now is really hindering the severe weather threat a little bit later on. That's not always the case, but oftentimes when you see rainfall happening out ahead of a severe weather event, that's kind of lowering the temperatures, lowering the convective available potential energy, or CAPE for short, which is thunderstorm food. It's already eating that stuff up, so I think this is good news in general for the areas in Pennsylvania and New York here, as well as Vermont and all the other areas that we're expecting potential severe weather today, but only time will really be able to tell. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at that upcoming pattern. We're going to dive into the tropical cyclone. We're also going to take a look at the upcoming severe weather, give you guys a good look at that, and then we're going to close out the video. All right, now here we are taking a look at this afternoon, and we can see a lot of activity up here in the northeast, as well as the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. We see the southeast is dealing with some of this activity as well. Things quiet up out west significantly By the time we reach tomorrow afternoon time frame, we can see a little bit more activity here spreading across the southeast. We see a little bit less up here for the northeast. We see there's slight amounts of activity happening up there in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast, but it's very, very spotty and very minor. I do see there is some activity along the Four Corner States and the Rockies again there, so that's interesting. By the time I reach Thursday afternoon, that's going to be July 14th, we can see there's still some activity happening there in the southeast, but hardly anything going on here for the northeast. And then everywhere else is basically having nothing going on. By that point, Friday afternoon, we have some spotty activity going on here for the southeast again, back to back to back to back days of this activity. We can see that for the Four Corner States and the Rockies, things start to actually get more intense as time moves on, and even down through Mexico, we see a lot of activity in there. We see a spotty area of activity here in the upper Midwest as well, so we're seeing some of that going on for the upper Midwest, and that's going to be by Friday afternoon, the 15th time frame. And then for Saturday the 16th here afternoon, we see some activity still in the southeast. We see some up here for the Four Corner States up through the upper Midwest. That seems to be the look at this point. Sunday the 17th, we see this activity actually spread throughout the east, so we're seeing more areas be involved here. Could be a very stormy pattern we find ourselves in. We see the Four Corner States still seeing a little bit of activity, maybe the Pacific Northwest as well. But overall, again, a quieter pattern out west in general. Monday, the 18th here, we can see that for the southeast, the Ohio Valley, the deeper south, the northeast, we're seeing all these different areas and regions seeing some of this activity in there. Now for Tuesday, the 19th, we still see a pretty far spread area of thunderstorm and shower activity happening there. Tuesday, July 19th. Wednesday is going to be the 20th. We see that the southeast still pretty exclusively seeing some of this storminess, and then there's some spotty areas for a couple of regions here in the United States, but really it's going to be a quieter pattern here. It looks like outside of the southeast there. And then Thursday here on the 21st, it looks like there is some spotty activity throughout the eastern third of the nation, but for the western two-thirds of the nation, the only area seeing precipitation whatsoever is going to be your Pacific Northwest. Outside of that, it's going to be very, very quiet, it appears. Now, with that being said, for the total precipitation through the next 10 days, here we are taking a look at it, and as you can see, if you're anywhere in the whites, nearly no precipitation is expected. Grays will be a tenth of an inch or less of precipitation. Your greens will be a tenth of an inch to half an inch. Your blues will be half an inch to an inch. Your yellows will be an inch to 2 inches. Your reds will be 2 to 5 inches. And then your browns will be 5 to 10 inches of precipitation. But I do not see any of that at this point. So mostly just reds, which again will be 2 to 5 inches of precipitation. And most of that is happening in your southeastern regions of the United States. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to take a look at the upcoming temperature pattern. Now, here we are taking a look at this afternoon. Things are really spotty with the temperatures. We've been having trouble for days here talking about it because it's just really hard to even differentiate here. We have warmer temperatures for this region, some cooler temperatures happening here for the upper Midwest, but some warmer temperatures as well. Same story for the southeast, a little bit of cool, a little bit of warmth. It's really, really hard to pinpoint here. Wednesday the 13th, we start to see this heat kind of transfer more towards the central United States. Some cooler temperatures here for the west coast, which usually means those warmer temperatures are headed further eastward. Thursday here, even further eastward. I almost said heatward. Eastward here with this heat there for the central United States, more neutral for the east, warmer and cooler temperatures depending on where you're at. Friday the 15th, we can see that there's definitely warmer temperatures around for primarily the central United States. Saturday, the 16th here, it's going to be around here. It's also the southwest seeing some of that. So lots of heat to go around. Very interesting pattern. Very hard to differentiate, like I mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of heat in a lot of different places here going on. And that's compared to normal, by the way. We see some cooler temperatures trying to mix in here for the west and also for the southeast. And this is allowing for this heat to kind of transfer eastward. We see something like that with the heat. Tuesday, the 19th, it definitely looks like it's headed eastward. Wednesday, the 20th, we see for the northeast, we definitely get that around. But for the southeast, it's more neutral. And then as we're ending this model run, we can see that definitely there's some colder temperatures along the western seaboard here. And that is going to force this warm air to the east. It has to. So my prediction is that for late July, we will finally get a pretty big heat area here for the east. But for now, it seems like it'll be more neutral, if anything. Now, let's take a look here at this 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. As you can see, as we're taking a look at this, we still have a 30% chance of development there in the Gulf. We now have a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours, and then a 30% chance over the next 5 days. So, all in all, very minimal chance that this develops over the next 2 days, but the 3 days prior after that, basically, there's a really good chance, a 30% chance. It's almost in your kind of more moderate chance of development, but we need to move up to a 40 before we can officially say that. But this is trending up, and it is interesting to really track this one with you guys. It's been a very interesting tropical system. Much like our previous ones that we've had so far this year, they've been very interesting so far, and nail biters, really, like where you don't know till the tail end what's really going to happen. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on. We will talk about this daily, by the way, so tune in with us daily, but for now, that's all we have to say. What we're going to do is we're going to move on and talk about the Storm Prediction Center. Now, here's the day one categorical outlook for Tuesday, July 12th, and as you can see, we have 3 different general thunderstorm risk areas in the lighter greens. That's where we expect general thunderstorms, but anything is possible, so continue to heed every watch, warning, and advisory as always. Now, for the 3 darker green regions, that's our marginal risk areas where we expect isolated severe weather to occur. And then our yellow region there for the mid-Atlantic, the southeast, and the northeast. That is where we have a slight risk at severe weather, where we expect scattered severe weather to take place. Now, for the day 2 categorical outlook, this will be for Wednesday, July 13th. We have 2 general thunderstorm risk areas, one there for Maine, and then one there for a lot of the other regions of the United States. That is, again, where we expect general thunderstorms. And then for the southeast there, we have that darker green region. That is our marginal risk area. And that is where we expect isolated severe weather to occur, again, on Wednesday, July 13th. Now, for day 3, Thursday, July 14th, this is our categorical outlook. We have one very large horseshoeing general thunderstorm risk there in the lighter green where we expect general thunderstorms, but anything is possible, so heed every watch, warning, and advisory. And then we have 2 marginal risk areas, one there for the southeast and then one there for the northern plains, and that is, again, where we expect isolated severe weather to occur. Now, for today's confidence tab, because of all the things being kind of confusing, the temperature pattern especially, and also especially that tropical cyclone as well, we're going to remain at a 4 out of 6 because of these things being so tricky. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Eagle, Lure the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudalessa, Catbite, Charles Dennett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Calisi also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.